Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. Dark Academia Fantasy Book Summary. Intro. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you were willing to risk everything for it? Your time, your health, your pride, even your soul. Welcome to the dark and dazzling world of Katabasis by R.F. Kuang, the #1 New York Times best-selling author of Babel and Yellowface. This is a story that fuses Dante's Inferno with the eerie loneliness of Susanna Clarke's Piranesi. It's a descent into hell itself, both the mythic underworld and the psychological inferno of academia. Two students, broken by ambition, scarred by rivalry, will risk everything to save the soul of a professor they don't even like. And maybe, just maybe, in the process, they'll discover what it means to truly lose or redeem themselves. Stay with me, because this summary and reflection is going to take you deep into the labyrinthine corridors of one of 2025's most anticipated dark academia fantasies. This is Katabasis. Part 1. The Word, the Myth, the Promise. The word katabasis comes from ancient Greek. It means the descent to the underworld. Think of Orpheus walking into the shadows for Eurydice. Think of Aeneas venturing into the realm of the dead for prophecy. Think of Dante following Virgil through the circles of hell. R.F. Kuang takes that ancient archetype and reimagines it through the brutal, competitive lens of Cambridge academia. Because in Katabasis, hell isn't just fire and brimstone. Hell is also endless exams, the crushing weight of expectations, the need to prove yourself over and over, even if it destroys you. This book asks, what would you sacrifice for brilliance? And more hauntingly, what if the gates of hell looked exactly like the gates of a university? Part 2. Meet Alice Law. Our main character, Alice Law, is not your typical fantasy heroine. She's not chosen by prophecy. She doesn't stumble into magic by accident. No, Alice has fought her way into it. She is disciplined, relentless, and terrifyingly ambitious. She has given up everything. Her health, her relationships, even her own sense of joy, all for the pursuit of one goal: to be recognized as one of the brightest minds in the field of magic. Her entire future hinges on one man, Professor Jacob Grimes, the most powerful magician at Cambridge, the intellectual giant whose recommendation could make or break her career. And then he dies, killed in what appears to be a magical accident, an accident that might, just might, be Alice's fault. But death is not the end in Katabasis, because Professor Grimes' soul has slipped into the underworld. And Alice? She's going in after him. Not out of love, not out of loyalty, but because her future depends on it. That's what makes Alice such a fascinating, flawed, and very human heroine. She isn't saving Grimes for him, she's saving him for herself. Part 3. Enter the rival. But of course, Alice isn't the only one with this idea. Her rival, Peter Murdoch, has come to the same conclusion. Where Alice is obsessive, brittle, and sharp, Peter is equally driven but fueled by his own wounds, his own scars. Together, they are two sides of the same coin, both brilliant, both broken, both desperate. And so, they must do the unthinkable, work together. Armed with nothing but chalk for their pentagrams, fragments of myth, Orpheus, Dante, the stories that came before, and the relentless drive to make all their suffering mean something, Alice and Peter descend into hell, into the unknown. Part 4. Hell Reimagined. But what does hell look like in R.F. Kuang's imagination? Forget the cliches of fire and demons. This is not the hell of Sunday sermons. In Katabasis, hell is a place where reality twists and crumbles. It's a maze of contradictions. It's a library filled with books that whisper secrets you can't bear to hear. It's corridors that fold in on themselves like puzzles. It's a space where magic doesn't always work the way you think it should. Hell, here is an echo of trauma. It's academic pressure crystallized into landscape. It's ambition devouring itself. And in this journey, Alice and Peter begin to realize that hell is not just an external place. It's also the scars they carry inside. Part 5. Themes and Symbolism. Let's step back for a moment and talk about themes. Because Kuang never writes a book that's just about plot. Her novels are layered with social critique, history, and philosophical reflection. In Babel, she explored language and colonial violence. In Yellowface, she dissected privilege, authorship, and the hunger for fame. In Katabasis, she asks, what does it cost to chase brilliance? Is ambition worth damnation? Can rivalry turn into alliance or even redemption? And perhaps most painfully, is saving your mentor really about them, or about your own need for validation? Alice and Peter's journey echoes Orpheus, Dante, and countless mythic descents. But here, the underworld is academic. The guiding light isn't love, it's ambition. And the monsters aren't demons. They're the shadows of self-doubt, rivalry, and regret. Part 6, Character Dynamics. What makes the book so compelling is the tense, razor-sharp dynamic between Alice and Peter. They hate each other. They need each other. They push each other to the edge. And yet, there's something almost magnetic about their partnership. Hell has a way of stripping people down to their core. Alice and Peter, forced into life or death, might just discover truths about themselves they've spent years avoiding. Is there potential for friendship? For romance? For betrayal? Kuang never makes it easy. This is not a story of neat resolutions. It's a story where the stakes are soul deep. Part 7, Kuang Style. If you've read Kuang before, you know what to expect. Sharp prose, philosophical undercurrents, and that signature mix of brilliance and brutality. Her worlds are immersive, but they also challenge you. You can't skim a Kuang novel. You have to wrestle with it. You have to let it sit in your bones. In Katabasis, her writing channels the claustrophobia of academia, the grandeur of epic myth, and the psychological horror of self-destruction. It's not just fantasy. It's an autopsy of ambition. Part 8. Why this book matters. So why is Katabasis making waves even before release? Because it taps into something we all recognize. We've all felt the crushing weight of expectations. We've all chased after something. Grades, recognition, success, wondering if it's worth the sacrifices. We've all faced the voice that whispers, if you fail, you are nothing. Alice's descent into hell is metaphorical as much as it is literal. It's a mirror held up to anyone who has ever been consumed by the hunger to prove themselves. That's why this book resonates. Because beneath the fantasy, it's about us. Part 9, Reflections. So let me ask you, if you had the chance to chase your dream, but the price was your soul, would you take it? If the gates of hell opened, and inside lay the recognition, the success, the future you always wanted, would you walk through? Katabasis doesn't give easy answers. It leaves you unsettled, questioning, and haunted. And maybe that's the point. Closing thoughts. To sum it up, R.F. Kuang's Katabasis is more than just a fantasy novel. It's a dark academia reimagining of the descent to the underworld myth. It's the story of Alice Law and Peter Murdoch, two rivals, bound by ambition, forced to journey through hell to save a professor they don't even like. It's a meditation on ambition, rivalry, sacrifice, and the cost of brilliance. It's Dante and Orpheus reimagined for our time. It's a myth meeting academia. It's the hell we all know, made literal. If you loved Babel for its intellectual firepower, if Yellowface made you squirm with its sharp social critique, if you crave dark academia laced with myth and psychological horror, then Katabasis is a novel you cannot miss. So, are you ready to descend? Thanks for listening to this deep dive into Katabasis, a novel by R.F. Kuang. If you enjoyed this audio-style summary, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Would you risk hell for your dreams? Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest journeys aren't upwards, but downwards. This was Katabasis.